Get Inspired live vlog. This is episode 46. Episode 46. So we are, obviously today is it's Saturday. It's October, one moment please. October the 18th, isn't it? It's Saturday morning at 9:30 in the morning. Yeah, this is the Let's Get Inspired live vlog, episode 46, as I've just said. What we're going to be talking about today, what's the title of today? What's the structure of today? So the title is The World's Getting Softer. Don't let your mind do the same. So I'm just going to leave a question on there before I start talking so people that join know what I'm talking about. Do you think, one moment. Do you think the world is making people softer? I'll go with that question just to begin with and see what people have to say. There we go. Start Q&A. There we go. So do you think the world is making people softer? I'm just going to have a little sip of tea. This is just a start, of course. I'm just warming up and then I'll get into it, of course. Obviously, this is a live vlog. My name's Brad, by the way, if you don't know my name. This is a live vlog. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. I do have my notes with me to be transparent, to be open and honest. But I just refer to them for structure throughout the live vlog. But I add my own thoughts and opinions on my own perceptions onto those points that I'm following. So let's get into it. So we live in a world that's blessed with comfort, especially in the Western world. If you're comparing the world to what it was years and years ago, let's say 100 years ago, it's a lot harder. People died by the time they were 30 in the Western world. I can't speak for the whole world, of course, but I'm coming from an English perspective. Life was a lot harder, in my opinion, back then, or it appeared to be. Definitely. People, a lot more suffering than potentially. Like sanitation wasn't very good, was it? There wasn't any clean drinking water. People used to drink beer in England. They drank alcohol because the water was so impure. People wouldn't live, like I've just turned 43 years old of age. Years and years ago, you wouldn't live that long. Life expectancy maybe 150 years ago was probably about 27 or something like that in England. You'd be dead. You'd be an old man at 27, you'd be cooked, you'd be gone. Hi, Sander, by the way. Hello, Sander. Good of you to join us. So we are blessed in the modern age. I know life can be hard as well, don't get me wrong, but we're blessed with comfort in the Western world compared to maybe to other countries, maybe to other places. If you don't agree with what I'm saying, absolutely please comment. I don't expect everyone to agree with what I'm saying, but anyway. Core Edit Pro is saying, I am dad. You're a dad. Okay, Core Edit Pro. Oh, we're getting loads of that. That's fine. Okay, so everything's designed to make life easier in the modern world that we live in, which is a great thing. We have faster food. McDonald's. Is McDonald's nice? Of course McDonald's is nice. It's quick. It's easy. Easy food. Is it healthy? No, but it's quick and easy. We have shorter attention spans. Think about that one. We really do have shorter attention spans, especially with the, let's say, phones that we have now. Our attention spans are much lower than they used to be. Because we have instant validation, we have a phone. We can obviously, it's doom scrolling, isn't it? A few seconds here, next video, overstimulation basically, amongst other things. And also, there's also that need for instant validation. Again, I go back to Facebook. You get a like, instant validation. We want these things to come easily. We expect these things to come fast. We want instant results. We're not, a lot of the time, that's preventing people from doing from going down the long road, basically. But here's the problem. The easier that life gets, the more you're in fucking comfort zone, the softer our minds become. Easy times create weak people. Easy times create weak people. That's the way it is. And it's fucking getting through this. You don't want to become weak. I don't think so anyway. I think it's good to be strong. Is being strong easy? No, it creates effort. It means you're going to need resilience. Rabutal says hello. Hi, Rabutal. I hope I'm saying your name right. Sanders saying, okay, I'll go with the comments there. Sanders then saying, yes, the world and the way it's designed is most definitely making people softer. Absolutely. The United Kingdom is a great proof of that. I agree. Loads of people who don't have pride in what they look like, what they eat, etc., they've just let themselves go. Eating junk food, drinking beer. This is just examples. Let themselves go. They get very fat. Potentially. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with being a bit fat. That's nothing wrong with that. But anyway, you're getting soft. You're getting weak. It's all too easy. But there's a price to pay. Your body's going to be, if you're lazy and you're just eating food all the time, you don't need to work. You're just going to end up overweight potentially. You're going to become unhealthy. You're going to suffer in a different way. But it's too many good times, too many easy times. Therefore creating the softness. So I agree with what you're saying, Sander. Thanks for sharing, by the way. I appreciate that. So anyway, so what was I going to say? I'll go back to my notes a moment and then I'll keep cracking on. So we don't have to wait anymore. We don't have to struggle. Food's there. It's easy. You could be on benefits. It's easy. You've got free food. You've got a roof over your head for free, potentially. This is in the UK. We don't even have to think. Think about ChatGPT. Think about Google. These are great things. You can learn a lot from these things, but that can, I suppose, impact our ability to think. Yes, you don't even need to try hard sometimes. You just get benefits, for example. You don't need to try, just turn up. I'm not saying that's the best life to live, but it's just an easier way to live. Some people might not agree with what I'm saying, which is fine, of course. Hi, sorry, I can't pronounce your name because I don't understand. I'm sorry. Where am I from? I'm from, I live near Manchester, which is in England, Northern England. I live in a place called Chorley, which is about 30 miles approximately from Manchester. That's where I'm from. Good of you to join us, by the way. I hope you're okay. Sanders asking, where are you from as well? Anyway, I'll keep going, but keep the comments coming, guys. I'll respond to them the best I can. So let's keep going. So you don't have to do anything, and that's dangerous. It's potentially dangerous. If you're just having an easy, lazy life, you're going to become soft. You're going to become weak, potentially. What was I saying then? Sorry. Let me go back to my notes. One moment. So because mental resilience, that calm strength that helps you, keeps you grounded when life hits hard. So if you've got resilience, you're strong physically, strong mentally. When life goes to shit, because it will do sometimes, life can be tough. Life can be unpredictable. 1 minute, everything's peachy creamy, isn't it? Everything's good. Everything's great. And then snap, it changes. You could lose somebody. You could have a car crash. You could get an illness. Something bad can happen. Chaos can happen in life. That's how it fucking goes. But if you're too soft, too weak, you're just going to crumble straight away. That's when you need resilience. That's when you need resilience, which I'll get into later. Where does strength come from? Strength comes from suffering, from pressure. Pressure makes fucking diamonds. Obviously, you've heard that one before. I'll say it again. It's a good saying. Pressure makes diamonds. Absolutely. It's in the setbacks where we get stronger. It's through the adversity. It doesn't feel good at the time. It's a struggle. But that's what can push you. That's what can make you strong. Do most people avoid this nowadays? Yeah, a lot of people avoid this nowadays. It's in choosing to keep going when it would be easier to quit. That's what a lot of people do. They start things. They think it's going to come straight away. It's fucking not going to do. Think, oh, I'll just turn up. Well, I'll do a week. I'll go to the gym for a week. That's it. What are you going to get out of that? It's all, you've done okay, you've done for a week, but you're not going to get results. It's results over time, isn't it? Anything that you want to do, it's difficult. It can be difficult and it takes time. And it's also acronym for fail, first attempt in learning. I'm sure some of you guys have heard this. First attempt in learning. The only real way to fail is by not even turning up. It's having the courage to keep going, basically. But I do believe in the Western world, I can't speak for the whole world because every country is different, but the world's getting softer, especially in the UK. Look at the state of it. End game. The world's getting softer, but that doesn't mean that you have to. Doesn't mean that you have to. You can control that by doing the hard things on purpose. Choosing the harder road, choosing the fucking climb instead of going the easy road all the time. It's okay to be on the easy road for a while. Don't get me wrong. We all need the easy road sometimes. We all need to just rest sometimes. I'm not on about that, but it's good to go for targets, go for things that are challenging, do hard things. It doesn't matter what it is. You've got to try. We're here to grow. We grow through the suffering. As I'm paraphrasing Jordan Peterson there, to be honest. So by staying disciplined when no one's watching, doing the hard work when no one's fucking watching, when it's cold and you're tired and you're ill, you're still turning up. You're doing your best. And it's by staying calm when everyone is panicking, when everyone's flapping around, when everyone doesn't know what they're doing. It's staying calm. Easier said than done sometimes. I get it. But it's staying calm through the pressure. So I'll go back to the... I'm going to go back to the comments in a moment. So today we're going to talk about how to build that strength. That's what I'm going to talk about today. How to become mentally resilient in a soft world, especially the Western world, let's say England, that rewards excuses instead of effort. Okay? So let me go to your comments, guys. One moment. Sandra says hi. Where are we from? I've already said that. You're from Korea. Oh, cool. Is it South Korea, I'm assuming? I love some of these. Sorry, I'm not an expert on South Korea, forgive me, but I love some of the movies and the series that you guys make. They're amazing, absolutely amazing. I've seen that film Parasite. It's a really good film. And forgive me, there's other things there's some really interesting programs, TV programs that you guys have produced. It looks like a nice country as well. Not that I'm an expert on South Korea, by the way. So what do you want to say? Pressure makes diamonds. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. So you exercise. I'm really sorry. I can't. I'm just going to call you. Sorry. Forgive my language abilities. I'm sorry. I can't speak South Korean at all. Obviously, you speak good English, though, which is a great thing. Thank you. So I'm going to refer to you as you. So usually go to exercise. That's good. What do I do? I do cold showers every morning. I do the Wim Hof breathing every morning. I exercise on a regular basis. I do a variety of exercises, weights. I do circuit training, CrossFit kind of things. I do cycling, walking. I've done other things in the past as well, but I keep active physically. Mentally, I read a lot. I reflect a lot. I do shadow work. I look at myself. I read a lot of things about resilience, about psychology, that kind of thing. I'm always trying to improve myself and work on myself. What else do? I do this. I work at a hospital as a scrub nurse full time. I work in the hospitals, in the theatres. I help surgeons with completing operations like knee replacements, let's say, hip replacements, shoulder replacements. The list goes on. I work in a hospital basically full time. And then I do this as well. I try and help people the best I can. I've got my own YouTube channel. That's what I do. That's partly just a quick overview of what I do anyway. Calm, you said. Staying calm is a strength, isn't it? Big time. Staying calm, man. Staying calm. That's true strength. It's not the person who's shouting. It's not the person who's losing it. Some people think, oh, that's a strong personality because they're shouting and they're big, yap. It's the calm one. It's the quiet one. That's the strong one. People often don't see this or realize this, or do they? In my opinion, from my experiences. So I'm going to ask a question. Let me change this one moment, guys, and we'll get into it. I'll ask this question. Does the comfort zone kill our mental toughness? Don't get me wrong, the comfort zone is sometimes needed. A little bit, it's balance, isn't it? You can't be on the go all the time. I don't think that's realistic, let's say. Let me just type this question, sorry, one more. Does the comfort zone kill our mental toughness, let's say? I'll ask that question. There you go. Does the comfort zone kill our mental toughness? Then I'll keep talking, of course. Sanders saying people mistake loud for confident. Yeah, they do. What's that saying as well? Sometimes arrogance is just insecurity in disguise. I'll say it again. Arrogance is insecurity in disguise sometimes. And people think, oh, the loud person's a smart one. The loud person knows everything. Sometimes the loud person does not know a lot. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's the person who's quiet that knows the most. The calm, strong one is the quiet one in the corner, observing, watching, staying calm. Not the loud one. Not the loud one. Not all the time. And people mistake it. Yes, often that happens. Often. You get it, let's say, for an example of what Sanders just saying, an example with that obviously, you get like, imagine you've got the bully type, very loud and they're very gobby and they're shouting off and they're portraying that they're confident and they're trying to bully somebody and maybe they're going to attack that person. A lot of the time it's just a show, it's a front. It's not, they're just overcompensating because really they can't fight, for example. They're just a bit weak, but they're pretending to be confident. They're peacocking, as they say. They're showing off. It's all, sometimes it's an illusion, isn't it? Anyway, Sharkania. Hello, Sharkania. My name's Brad, by the way. Good of you to join us. You're saying that you're not arrogant and confident. That's the difference. Yeah. Can you elaborate on that, Sharkania? What have you got any examples of that? No pressure, by the way. Good to hear that. I think true confidence is gained through experience as well. True confidence is gained through experience. And I think true confidence isn't flashy always, or not always doesn't need to show off. A truly confident person doesn't need to show off. They just are. They're just present. They're comfortable with themselves. They don't need to tell everyone that they're brilliant. They don't need to tell everyone that they're the best. That they're the best. They just are. They show back. They lead by example. They don't need to say any words. They just have that aura, that presence, let's say. Sanders then saying, I have a quote inside my work locker. Interesting. Saying, let me read that one moment. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Nothing ever happens if you stay inside your comfort zone. No growth and no change. Thanks for sharing that, Sam. That's really good. I love that. I'm going to read that again because I think it's really good. A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. No, if it's nice and easy all the time, you're not going to be tested. It's just fucking easy. And everyone can do easy. Everyone can fucking do easy. It's just like breathing. Breathing's for most people is easy, isn't it? Easy, I'm breathing, whatever. Do it naturally. Don't even need to think about breathing, do you? For example, nothing ever happens if you stay inside your comfort zone. No. And the comfort zone can make you uncomfortable eventually. For instance, you're just eating nice food all the time. You're eating chocolate, you're eating sweets. It tastes really good. It's comfortable. You don't need to move. You just sat there. You don't need to work. You just sat there. You're not doing anything. You're not moving. It's okay for a day. Nothing wrong with that for a day, man. If you need a nice day like that, go for it. But if you do that every day for a month, for a year, you're just going to be a big fat blob of unhealthiness, aren't you? And what you're going to do, you will fucking suffer. That's what happens to a lot of people. That's when you need the discipline and the resilience, for example. Not that you have to be perfect. I'm not trying to say that you have to be perfect. But I agree. Nothing ever happens if you stay inside your comfort zone other than potentially suffering further down the road. No growth and there's no change. Not positive change. No, there's not. I agree, Sander. Sander's saying, Barry, exactly. Arrogance is the opposite of confidence. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's an illusion. Arrogance is can seem like an illusion sometimes. Let me look at that. Oh, we've got, thanks for getting rid of the silly thingies there, Sander. Appreciate that. That's silly, isn't it? You always get trolls on here as well. They like to have a little peck. I like to have a little peck, don't they? That's how it goes. Are you confident? Do you have the resilience? I'm talking about myself now. Do you have the resilience? You're going to get trolls on here. If you dare to expose yourself on here, it takes balls to come on here. I'm telling you now, in my opinion, you're exposing yourself, you're talking. You're going to get some really nice people on here, really interesting people that you can learn from. I learn from you guys sometimes, absolutely, of course. And hopefully some people learn from me as well. But it's a two-way street a lot of the time. But you are going to get trolls. You're going to get little... They're going to peck at you. You need resilience, don't you, for that? You need confidence. You need to not be unbothered, basically. Anyway, that's just an example. I'll just have a sip of coffee, guys. One moment. Okay. So we're going to move on to the comfort trap now. Sanders then saying, Brad, the trolls are simply losers. And yeah, in my opinion, it's keyboard warriors. People hide behind the computers. They type whatever they type. Probably to feel better, isn't it? They're coming from a place of lack a lot of the time. They need to feel better. They don't work on themselves. A troll won't work on themselves. Instead, they'll try and put someone else down. And even more cowardly, they'll do it behind a computer. They won't say it to my face. Very unlikely. Very unlikely. In a real life environment, these people would not say much. And if they did, I'd be responding to them directly. And they would not, they won't want this. They won't want that. They won't want that. But they can hide behind the computers and they can say what they want to say. It's just part of life, really, isn't it? They're a good example of what not to be, though. They're a really good example. You don't want to end up like that. It's truly lost. It's sad. It's sad. I actually I feel sorry for them in a way. I think it's just a sad way to be. It's coming from a very low vibrational level. I like to think that I'm not about that world anyway. But do I feel bad about it? No, not at all. Anyway, so the comfort trap. This is what the comfort trap is. This is what the modern life can give us. Don't get me wrong, it's nice sometimes. So let me refer to my notes again. Let's be honest. Let's be open and honest. I'm going to refer to my notes in a moment. Modern life removes friction. Food. Nice food, easy to get. If you've got the money, yeah, of course. If you're getting free food, you don't have to work for it. It's all good. It's there. It's accessible. It's really easy for us to get. We're the apex predator, aren't we, as humans? We're the top of the food chain. Everything's got easy, on the whole, for most people. Well, in England, I'm going to say. In the Western world, let's say. Entertainment comes easy. Netflix, YouTube, whatever you're watching. TV. I suppose that's a bit old-fashioned now, TV, isn't it? But entertainment. Opinions. Even validation are instant validation straight away. An example of this is when the kids go to school and they have a competition and everyone gets an award, don't they? A lot of the time, everyone's a winner in the school. It's like, that's not how life works. There's competitions, isn't there? We go for jobs. You might get that job. Let's say you've won that. You might not get that job. You didn't win. That's life. That's how it goes. We have races, don't we? There's competitions. Whatever that competition is. At school, you play football, you have a game of football. One team wins, one team doesn't. Maybe you draw or whatever. But you don't always win all the time. But a lot of what's happening in schools now in education is everyone's a winner, even if they're not, even if they didn't win. And I don't think that helps resilience. And it also takes away the prize of winning. It takes away the value of winning, doesn't it? If everyone wins, everyone's entering a competition, but everyone fucking wins, everyone gets the same prize, what's the point of even turning up anyway? That's my thinking. Anyway, but validation, they're getting that little bit of validation, but it's not true validation, is it? It's very cheap, in my opinion. And that's with regard to that scenario, let's say. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So, a sip of coffee again. Sorry, guys. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed, by the way. I appreciate you all. Thank you for anyone that's commenting. Thank you for anyone that's watching. I do talk about other things as well. I talk about psychology. I talk about self-improvement, working on yourself. I talk about narcissism. I talk about emotional vampires. I talk about a lot of different things. I talk about the struggles that men have as well. I like to keep it varied though, but it's all linked to self-improvement kind of thing. And also protecting yourself against toxic people. That's what I talk about generally, broadly, let's say. But anyway, I'm going to move on. But with friction, like Sanders just said, without fucking friction, there is no growth, mate. Without struggle, without a climb, without adversity, there's no growth. There's none. I don't think there is anyway. No, there's not. There's nothing. You've got to. You need to put yourself in these situations. I'm putting myself in this situation right now. I've turned up. I'm talking. There's a few people there. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. But I turn up. I work all week. This is not always me, by the way. This is my choice. I work all week. I work about 45 hours a week, maybe 50 hours a week. So I do overtime. I work in a hospital. I work in a stressful job. Then in my spare time, which is mostly at the weekends, thankfully, I do this as well. I don't always feel like this. I could easily just sit in bed and do nothing all day, but I don't. I decide to turn up. Therefore, that could be referred to as friction. That's where the growth is. You've got to fucking find it, though, haven't you? I know probably a lot of you guys already know these things, but we forget these things, I think, sometimes. Well, I do even sometimes. Anyway, I'm going to move on. Another price of this comfort trap is people panic over small inconveniences. So people panic over small inconveniences because they never face real struggle. So what's an example of that? What's a fucking example of that? Let me think. Imagine the Wi-Fi is not working. The fucking Wi-Fi is not working. It's off for 2 minutes. People can get bent out of shape. They can get really pissed off. They can get really angsty just because the fucking Wi-Fi is not working for 2 minutes. Watch people crumble sometimes. They get agitated, annoyed. That's an example of the comfort trap, isn't it? That's like the big worst thing since the Second World War or something. It's like, what the fuck? Your Wi-Fi is not working and you're flapping around and you're really annoyed and you're very unhappy. It's a small inconvenience, really, isn't it? Another example is what do we live in now? We live in a throwaway society. Well, what do I mean by that? What do people quit? They quit relationships. They quit relationships. So once you have the honeymoon period, that's a nice period. Let's say the honeymoon period with relationships. What happens after let's call it 6 months. Sometimes the honeymoon period might be a bit longer. Then you're going to start to see the persons. We all have flaws. We're all fucking human, for God's sake. We make mistakes. We might have some annoying traits in there. That's okay. You're fucking human. And what happens in a lot of relationships with some people, because the honeymoon period goes over, rose-tinted glasses, as they say, rose-tinted glasses, looking at they're in love with the idea of a person. They see them as perfect. But once they start to see the flaws, they go, I don't want this relationship anymore. They're not perfect. And they move on. That's what happens. Therefore, we live in a throwaway society. This thing can then happen with regards to clothing, with regards to jobs. Honeymoon period can be for a job. You start a new job, you're really excited. Yes, I've got the job. I beat everyone. I got the job. There was 10 people going for it and I got it. And you're like really excited. And then it's all new to you. Everything's new to you. It's all good. It's more interesting, isn't it? Beginner's mind kind of thinking with regard to the new job. And then after 6 months, 7 months or whatever, honeymoon period is going, man. It's going to go. And you're going to see the problems, of course. You're going to come across arseholes. Arseholes exist, as you know. Challenging people exist, don't they? It's a fucking pain. It's hard out there. It's hard. There's some fucking arseholes out there in the real world. There's lovely people as well, don't get me wrong. But it's fucking difficult sometimes. And you're going to come across, what are you going to come across? You're going to come across adversity. And you're going to get that job. After 6 months, you're going to think, honeymoon period's gone. I need a new one. That can happen as well. Obviously, there's more to that as well, of course. Some jobs are absolutely terrible, don't get me wrong. That's another conversation in itself. But I'm just giving examples. Also, another one, an example of the comfort trap is, what is it? You've got a goal, you're going for something, you're working on something. Think about YouTube, right? The percentage of YouTubers that become monetized is 6%. So only 6% of YouTubers, believe it or not, sometimes some people might naively think, oh, that person who does YouTube videos, oh, they're fucking, no, they get loads of money. What an easy job that is. It really, really isn't, trust me. It really fucking isn't. To become monetized itself is very, very difficult, especially when you're beginning, because no one knows who you are. No one knows who you are. They don't know you exist. You're not on people's algorithms because they don't know who you are. They don't know what to search for you. That's just the way it is. And what a lot of people do on YouTube, they just think, oh, I'm going to do my YouTube channel. I'm going to make it. And they make maybe 1, 2, 3 videos. And then they quit because they're thinking that they're going to get this massive moment and everyone's going to watch them. It doesn't work like that, especially when you begin this kind of shit. Because guess what? When you first start, I've only been going since the 30th of December. I've been making videos constantly since then. Not every day, but quite often. I've been all the way through. I've got a lot better. However, when I began, I was absolutely, guess what I was? I was shit. I was terrible at making videos. I'd never been in front of a camera before. I didn't know. I wasn't used to seeing myself speak. I wasn't used to hearing myself speak. So it was very difficult. It was very difficult to begin with, absolutely. And what a lot of people do, because they're used to the fucking comfort zone, they make 3 videos and they quit. They're done. That's it, they're cooked, basically. And that's what a lot of people do. They don't have the resilience to keep going. That's it. That's what the comfort zone can end up like. And then they jump onto the next thing. Don't they? They go from one thing to another. So they've got a goal. They're going for it. 2 or 3 times, they face some adversity, they quit. Then what do? Maybe they might find something else. Again, they start something, face a bit of adversity, quit. Not good. That happens a lot for YouTubers. That happens a lot as well. Anyway. One moment, I've got a comment. Pure video cry car. Sorry. I can't say your name. Sorry. What's going on here? From India, a beautiful lady's watching you. Hello, how are you? My name's Brad. This is Inspirational Ambivert channel. Good of you to join us, by the way. I'm talking about the comfort zone. I'm talking about having resilience. I'm talking about not being soft, trying not to be soft in a world. Trying not to fall into the comfort zone, basically. That's what I'm talking about. Talking about having mental resilience. Skull Gamer 551. Hello again. Hi again. How are you doing? How are you doing, Skull Gamer? Good to join us again. I hope that you're okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue speaking. So I'll ask a question. Pervy. Okay, hi Pervy. How are you? I hope that you're okay. Good of you to join us, by the way. Thanks. That's easier to say, by the way. Sander says hi to Perv as well. Pervy, nice to meet you. Lovely. So what's one thing that people can't handle that what used to be normal? I don't know about that question. I'm going to move on. Let's move on to what does real resilience look like? I'm going to put a comment on here, guys, and then I'll start speaking again. What does real resilience look like to you is the question. Without fucking resilience, you're just going to wilt. You're just going to fold over. You're not going to do anything. You need resilience, man. You need a backbone. I think, fucking hell, life can be difficult. You need to be strong. And if you want to do well in life, you need to be strong, man. Physically, mentally, spiritually, and all the rest. That comes through concentrated effort. But anyway, what does real... Let me just ask the question first, and then I'll start speaking again. And these things might be obvious to all of us. I think we might not know all these things. These wisdoms. We all have a lot of wisdom within us, but it's often sometimes the most obvious things we forget. I forget these things sometimes as well. I like talking about these things because it reminds myself as well. Absolutely. I'll go to the comments a moment. I'll leave the question there. Skull Gamer saying hello to Sander. How are you? Hi, Sander. Is it your name? Yes, that's Sander's name. Sander's saying, I'm good, Skull Gamer. Having a chill Saturday morning. How are you? What are you up to? Is the question. Sander's saying, yes, Pervy, I am Sander. Where are you from, guys? Pervy, I am from, I live close to Manchester. I live 30 miles away from Manchester, basically. I live in a small town called Chorley, in the northwest of England, near Manchester, basically. Whereabouts you're from India, is it, Pervy? Okay. And then Pervy says, oh, okay, dear. Skull Gamer then says, sounds great. I'm having a chill Saturday night. All good here. Oh, you're at night time. Cool. Good that you're all chilling. Good that you're all comfortable. Let's say, one moment. Let me have a sip of coffee. And then I'll get into it. So, what does real resilience look like to you? If you can share that, that's fine. Skull Gamer saying, oh, my mother is Croatian and Italian. Yeah, because they're close to each other, aren't they, Skull Gamer? Croatia and Italy are next to each other. The Adriatic Sea is in the middle, of course, separated by the sea. That's cool, Skull Gamer, by the way, sorry. And then Pervy saying, I'm from India. There is a state, Maharashtra, Nagpur. That's where you're from, the state where you're from. Cool. How's life there, by the way, Pervy? Santa's Day saying, Skull Gamer, no way. Wow, we're in Croatia. I'll leave you guys to it. Keep speaking. I'm going to crack on with this. So resilience isn't never feeling pain. It's not letting pain control you. I'll say it again, and then I'm going to reflect on that a moment. I'm referring to my notes, of course. Excuse me, sorry. Resilience isn't never feeling pain. So you're going to feel pain, of course. It's not letting the pain control you. It's not letting the pain. You're feeling pain. You're feeling fatigue, but you've got to do something. You might be at university. I've been to university, and there's been times when I'm thinking, what the fuck am I doing this for? I'm writing an essay. It's so boring. Honest to God, sometimes when you're at university, for example, it's so fucking boring. And I'm thinking, why do I have to read all this? Why am I doing this? It's painful. And what can happen a lot of times is people think, this is really difficult. Being at university can be difficult, of course. And you think, this is really difficult. This doesn't feel good. And then what do? They let the pain beat them. And they just give up. And I felt like giving up at university as well. Honestly, I nearly gave up, if I'm honest. But I didn't want the pain to control me. I didn't want it to beat me. I didn't want it to be my master. So the pain can guide you sometimes. The pain of having to do something, the struggle. You don't want the pain to get the better of you, though, is what I'm trying to say. I'll go back to the comments again. Skull Gamer says, yeah, that's correct. You've got good geography. I've got good geography with regards to that, Skull Gamer, because I've been to Croatia before. However, I don't have good geography with everything. I wish I did. I've got, I don't know everywhere, if I'm honest. Skull Gamer saying, Rijeka, I don't know where that is. Maybe Sander can help, because Sander's from Croatia. Rijeka is a lovely city. Is it? Oh, I didn't know that. And Skull Gamer going, yes, it is. Haha, yeah, fair. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm going to continue. So what does real resilience look like? It's about staying grounded when things get messy. Sometimes you're in a situation and it's getting messy, it's getting a bit chaotic, and you just got to sometimes mentally take a step back, look at the situation and stay calm, thinking, oh, everything's going to shit. Everything's a bit crazy at the moment, but I just need to keep present. I need to look at situational awareness, I suppose. It's looking at the bigger picture, looking at what's going on. How do I know about these things? I work in theatre, so some things, it doesn't always go to plan. It doesn't always go to plan. And it can get very tense, basically. Sorry, I'm going to give an example. Yesterday, I was in a theatre and we were removing metalwork from an ankle. So the ankle, let's just say, had broken in the past, and they put a plate on the ankle and put screws in it. I'm keeping it simple. So the operation was completed, let's say 3 years ago, whatever. And then this patient but the ankle was fixed, the bone was fixed, but however, the metal work in the ankle was causing the patient pain. So they had to come back to theatre to have the metal work removed. So keeping it simple, of course, and the surgeon then opens up, the patient goes to sleep, anaesthetics, whatever, under anaesthesia. They are asleep. They don't feel the pain, of course. Then the surgeon needs to open the ankle up, of course, and then slice it open, and then they need to get a screwdriver and then get the screws out. It's not that simple though. It's very difficult. So there's lots of calcification of the bone. There's lots of issues with the tissue. Basically, I'm keeping it simple as I can. So they just unscrewing it all. Happy days. Even sometimes it comes out very easily. You unscrew the screws, the plate comes out, the metalwork comes out of the ankle. Everyone's happy. However, yesterday there was a problem. One of the screws wasn't responding. It was threaded, if you know what I mean. It was just you put the screwdriver in and it wasn't coming out. The screw was still in the ankle, and unfortunately, we didn't have one of the instruments was broken. Screw removal set, one of the instruments was broken. Sorry, this might sound a bit boring, but I'll carry on anyway. And there's a problem. We didn't have the instruments. Like, oh shit, this screw's still in the ankle. So therefore, that could lead to it's a failure. If we don't get the screw out and we can't do it, we have to stick. The surgeon stitches back up the ankle, but that screw's still in that patient's ankle, which is not the best outcome, is it? It's not the best outcome, especially you've been ripping at flesh and causing them pain, basically. That's going to be sore tomorrow, of course, and you still got metalwork in your ankle. If you're a patient, you might not be too happy about that. So basically, sorry, long story short, not long story short, is it really? We had to get loads of other. I was at the table and they were giving me loads of sets. The surgeon's getting a little bit stressed. It's getting a bit angsty. It's getting a bit chaotic, which is what my point is. And I'm thinking I had to get loads of different instruments, and they were trying to drill, trying to do this, trying to do that, and it was all failing. It was all failing. Thankfully, at the end of it, we got it out. We got it out eventually. A 1 hour operation took 3.5 hours. 1 hour operation took 3.5 hours. The outcome for the patient was very good. However, it was very stressful. Trust me, I was at the table. It was tense. We were close to not achieving that goal because we didn't have what we needed. Anyway, so my point is, it's staying calm. It's taking a step back. It's staying calm, and it's getting through things, isn't it? When there's chaos, that's resilience. Anyway, sorry, I'm going on a bit. Anyway, I'll go back to the comments. Sorry, I'm going off on a rant there. Pervy says, I'm sorry you guys are very fast speaking in English. Sorry, that's probably me, Pervy, sorry. And I'm just a new member talking to a foreigner. My life is good. If you asked about my life. Oh, your life's good. I'm glad that your life's good, Pervy. You're writing very well there. Sorry if I'm speaking too quickly for you. That's just me going on a rant, let's say. Skull Game is asking Sandra where in Croatia where is she from. Sandra says Split in Croatia. Skull Gamer then says, oh, that's a nice place. Sandra says, have you visited? Have you been to Split in Croatia? Sandra's saying, Pervy, oh, sorry if it's too fast for you. We love having you here. That's very nice of you to say, Sandra. Very, very kind of you to say. A school gamer saying years ago, I was reasonably young, old enough to remember. Sander says, oh, love that school gamer. And then Sander then says, Brad, wow, that must have been crazy stressful. Yeah, it's stressful sometimes. Life can be stressful. I just give an example. I was at the operating table. I was scrubbed. I'm a nurse. I'm not a surgeon or anything. I'm a nurse. I just help the surgeon, let's say. But it can be stressful. And also, you've got a table with loads of instruments in that are sterile. No one can touch those. No one outside can touch those instruments. You've got to protect those instruments, because even if you lay a finger on an instrument, that could potentially cause an infection to the patient. So you've got to look after it. And I had loads of different instruments on my set, and none of it was working. It was getting messy. It was getting chaotic. But I stayed calm. I stayed fucking calm. I did really well, and I got through it. That's my example anyway. So I'll move on. So what is real resilience? What's real resilience? It's built through discomfort. It's built through fucking suffering. It's built through climbing doing the climb. It's all about the climb. It's built through failure. First attempt in learning, isn't it? It's built, you're going to fuck up, you're going to mess up, you're going to drop the ball, you're going to mess up. It's okay. And it's through patience. Easier said than done sometimes. Sander saying you're doing God's work there, Brad. Oh, thanks, Sander. That's very kind of you to say. I'm trying to stay humble with regards to that as well. Trying my best, yeah. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. So I've got a quote. Let's go with that. The gym strengthens your body through resistance. So the gym strengthens the body through resistance. Of course it does. You're doing weights. It can get difficult. It's a struggle. There's pressure. But it makes you physically stronger, of course. Life strengthens your mind the same way through pressure. Life strengthens your mind the same way through pressure. Like I keep saying, pressure makes fucking diamonds, man. Embrace the suffering. Choose your suffering. Paraphrasing Jordan Peterson here. What did he say? He said it. Jordan Peterson speaks much better than I can. Oh my God, he's amazing. Speaks much better than I can ever do. However, he just said, if you don't choose your suffering, life will choose it for you. So if you suffer either way, man, you're going to fucking suffer in some way, on some level, no matter fucking what. It's going to happen. Tough shit. Basically, sounds harsh, but it's tough shit. You're going to suffer. There's levels of suffering, of course. There's fucking, there's horrendous ways of suffering, of course. But we all suffer. We're all fucking, if you're going to be a human, you're going to live, you're going to fucking suffer. And it's better to choose your suffering. To choose that path. So I'm choosing to go to the gym because I'm going to get stronger physically. So it's going to prevent me from getting unhealthy. It's just a really basic example of that. And if I suffer through this, I go to university, I suffer through university because it's going to get me a job. It's going to prevent me having to it's going to give me a better income, which is going to make my life a little bit more comfortable. But I have to suffer now to get there, as an example, instead of, let's say, having to do a lower end job. There's nothing wrong with lower end jobs, by the way. I don't say that's bad. If you want to work at McDonald's, that's fine. I respect that as well, of course. I'm not trying to sound like an asshole here. I'm just giving examples. Anyway, Skull Game is then saying, having the ability to work through hard situations, times while keeping one's courage, how I define resilience. Well said, Skull Gamer. I agree really well. Thank you for sharing that. It's very wise and very true. So having the ability to work through hard situations, yep. And them hard situations aren't going to feel good at the time. It's all good and well talking about it now, right? Of course, it's easier. But when you're going through it, it's not easy at all. But it's just keeping going, getting through it, and keeping your courage, yeah. Keeping your faith, I suppose, or whatever way you want to look at it. Yes, I agree. That's a good definition of resilience. Thank you, Skull Gamer. Right. So let's look at the habits. One moment, a sip of water. I'm just typing something in, guys. Habits that build mental resilience. I'll leave it as a question, just to allow people to know what I'm actually talking about, mostly. Sorry, guys. Right, okay. Habits that build mental resilience. So number one is voluntary discomfort. Voluntary discomfort. So you're doing the hard things on fucking purpose. What do? I don't have all the answers. I'm not perfect, by the way. I'm just giving examples of what I do. Hopefully that can help others. I have a cold shower every morning, most mornings, should I say. And I do the Wim Hof breathing most mornings as well. And that cold shower is uncomfortable, trust me, especially in North England, especially in winter. Fucking, it's freezing. I have cold showers nearly every day. And mostly in the mornings. And the first shock of that cold is like, it's like that bad. But then I get through it. And it makes me feel so awake, so alive. I spend about 3-4 minutes in there in the cold shower. And that really helps me. I'm voluntarily doing something that's uncomfortable in the morning, most mornings. That's the fucking cold shower. And people might think that's crazy, but there's a lot of benefits to that. That helps me with resilience. What else is an example? Early mornings, getting up early every day. Getting up early morning every day is an example of that. Going to the gym or keeping yourself active. That's another thing that's a voluntary choice, isn't it? I'm going to the gym. I'm going to read this book or whatever. I'm going to do that hard work. I'll move on anyway. Let's keep going. I was going to have a moment. Sorry, guys. Just have a sip of water. Skull Game is saying, buddy, late here, off to catch some sleep. Great to see you and see you next time. Yeah, thanks again. Thanks for joining me again, Skull Gamer. Good to hear from you again. Hope you enjoy your sleep, enjoy your weekend. Yeah, thanks for joining us, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Okay, let's move on. Also, another example would be to learn to sit with boredom or silence. No constant dopamine hits. Learn to be comfortable in the silence. Learn to become, not always having to seek those dopamine hits all the time. Skull Gamer then says bye to Sander. Sorry, I've already said it. Skull Gamer, goodbye, man. Have a nice night's sleep, mate. It's all good. I'm going to move on. Emotional regulation. Don't run from negative feelings. Name them, process them, and move forwards. So let me think about that one. So I'll say it again. Don't run from negative feelings. A lot of people avoid that, don't they? They avoid the negative feelings. I'm going to give an example, the best I can, with regards to this. Let me speak the best I can. Let's go for it. So yesterday, what happened? I was working in a theatre, of course. You read the story, and there's one person that they made snide comments towards myself. There was a few snide comments. They were blaming me for something jokingly. But they weren't really joking. They weren't. I don't think they were really joking. But I let it go. And they were interrupting me, and they were pecking. This person was pecking at me. Yap. I let it go. Whatever. Then I thought to myself, there's a pattern here. I'm good to go. And anyway, this person then went again. They went again. For the third time. This was yesterday, third time, and I called them out on it. I set boundaries. I went from Mr. Nice Guy to Mr. Not So Nice Guy. And I had a sudden burst of assertiveness, let's say. And then I stopped. Then this person said, someone's taking something personally. I didn't say anything. I'd done my bit. I'd showed them that I was annoyed. I called out their bullshit in a very professional way, and then I stayed silent. That person then went talking to everyone in the room at the time about how annoyed I was. What was that person? How annoyed I was. They was projecting onto me. They were basically seeking validation. They said later that they were only joking to me. I said I didn't see the joke. I didn't understand that joke. I don't get the joke, I said. That was deflection. They were rude to me a few times. They were making snide little demeaning comments. They weren't joking. And when I called them out on it, they said they were joking just to get out of, to basically relinquishing responsibility. They were then speaking to other people in the room about the situation just to try and get people on their side. Again, are they accepting zero accountability there? Zero accountability. They're trying to get reassurance from other people in the room. Even though they were the rude ones to me, they were making snide comments towards me 3 times. I had about 5-6 seconds of assertiveness. I put boundaries in place, and did they feel good about that? No, they didn't. But I stayed calm. I stayed fucking silent. I set my boundaries, and they backed off. Do I like doing these things? No, I don't. But you've got to sometimes. Let me have a sip of water, please. So what was I saying? What was I going on about then? So what am I trying to say is this person was running from the negative feelings. That's my point. They were running away from it. They didn't want to know what to do with the feelings. They got called out for being rude. They didn't like it. So they were cowards about it. They don't want to process. A lot of people don't want to process negative feelings. They'll be really rude, and then someone will set boundaries, and then they'll try and run away from those feelings by getting validation from others, by saying I was only joking. They're just trying to escape responsibility. That's what a lot of people do. And guess what happens then? They keep repeating the same shit for the rest of their lives. They don't ever grow because they're running from those negative feelings. This is an example of that. So they're rude to others, they're assholes with others, but they don't accept responsibility. They try and blame you for being upset when it's them that are upset. If you get what I'm trying to say, that's what happens with a lot of people. And the karmic debt is they do not grow. They stay emotionally stunted. Therefore, like an 8-year-old, I'm paraphrasing Mel Robbins here, they're like an 8-year-old in a fucking adult body. And that's all they are. Emotionally, 8-year-old, even though they're 60, 70. That's it. That's karmic debt. And then they keep getting the same situations happening to them. And they go, why are these people getting mad at me? Why are these people arguing with me? Why is this happening to me all the time? It's like, maybe it's because you've got the emotional maturity of a fucking 8-year-old. Anyway, I'm going on. So don't run from your negative feelings sometimes. This is just an example of it. I know there's more depth to this and a lot more scenarios with regards to this, but I'm explaining it the best I can. It's good to name your feelings. Why am I feeling this way? Why is this bothering me? You identify it, you accept it, and then I'm thinking, right, what do I do? I've acknowledged that I'm having negative feelings. Maybe I'm being a bit insecure here. Where's that insecurity coming from? Is it coming from childhood? Maybe. You're asking yourself these questions. You're not running. You don't run from it though. You're processing them, and then once you process those emotions, easier said than done. You're acknowledging them. You're accepting them. You're understanding them in yourself. That's when you can move forward. So that's when you're getting more into self-mastery. Anyway, I'm ranting. Sanders then saying, let me go. Sanders says goodbye to Skull Gamer. Sanders then says, well, Brad, they sound narcissistic. Yeah, it's not, I was on about narcissistic behavior there. They're not taking accountability for their actions. Absolutely not. And then in the end, they gaslight you. Yep. They gaslight you. What's gaslighting? It's like, you're the one that's fucked. They're blaming others for their own shit. That's what these people do. But what happens is, if, let's say, a narcissistic person is rude to you, you're in a work environment, they're not your close friend or anything, they're trying to prod, they're trying to make snide comments, but you show them, they won't come back. They're cowardly a lot of the time. They think this person is really strong. This person made me feel really fucking uncomfortable. I've been basically burnt them in a way. They don't want to come back for more. They don't want to fucking come back for more most of the time. They don't. The cowards, they want easy wins. They want easy pickings. They usually go for kind people that don't say anything back. That's what they want. And they're not going to want someone who's worked on themselves. They're not going to want someone who's going to set boundaries. They will stay the fuck away from you, trust me, in my opinion, most of the time. I'm on about people that you maybe work with that you don't have to be around all the time. Sandra's then saying you are so emotionally intelligent and mature. Thanks, Sandra. That's very kind of you. I'm impressed. Yeah, I try my best. I'm not always perfect though, Sandra, of course. Thank you for the compliment, of course. I appreciate that. Sandra's then saying you've literally just helped me to process my own feelings, Brad, with what you're saying. Thank you. Oh, I'm glad that I've helped. Really glad that I've helped, Sandra. I think we know all these things internally, but we forget them. We forget them sometimes. It's okay to forget things sometimes. Yeah, no worries. I'm glad I've helped you. That's great. I help myself as well by talking about these things, of course. So I'm going to move on. So being calm under pressure is basically it's like a mask. I suppose it's more of a mask. It could be. It's just, there's a power in that, isn't there? There's a power in that. Staying calm in that fucking pressure. That's when you're tested, isn't it? When you've got a challenging person who's pecking this night, people won't attack you when you're below them. They'll attack you if you're doing well and your light is shining brightly. People that are a bit low vibrational might attack you. They might attack you because you're shining brighter than they are and they don't like it. So they need to bring you down. They make snide comments. That's what's fucking happening. People want to, that's the price of being doing good, shining brightly. I love it when someone else does well. I love it when someone does well. I like it. I think I encourage that. I think that's great. But a more of a negative, narcissistic person won't like that. They don't like you shining bright. And they'll try and bring you down to make themselves feel better. That's the basics of it. I suppose that's a consequence of doing well sometimes. But you've got to they're just pecking. They're just pecking. That's all they're doing. They're just fucking pecking. Just brush them off if you can. That's where the true power is. Anyway. Rohan. Hi, Rohan. Good to have you with us again. Hope that you're okay, Rohan. Let's see what Rohan has to say. Sorry, one moment. Let me read that. They might also steal from you. We call it the tall poppy syndrome. Wow. It's jealousy, basically. I've never heard that one before, Rohan. Tall poppy syndrome. I've never seen that terminology before. Interesting. Might look into that. Thanks, Rohan. It's basically jealousy, yeah. It's jealousy. Envy, let's say. I think, Rohan, that, what was I going to say then? I think jealousy can be sometimes okay if it's like, I'm inspired by that person. I'm a little bit like someone lives on a farm and they'll have, I don't know, I'm giving a shit example here, but you see something in someone, you go, wow, they've got that nice life, they've got that nice house, they've got that nice car. I'm a little bit jealous, but like in a good way. Like I want that. I'm inspired by that person. How have they achieved that? How can I learn from this person? I'm a little bit jealous of them, but I'm also inspired by them. I think that can be a good version of jealousy. But I think envy is like, oh, I hate that. Look at that person. They've got all that. They must be doing something dodgy. They must have walked all over people to achieve this. They're this, they're that. That's more of a negative, like nasty way of being jealous, let's say, envy, let's call it. I'm trying to give I'm going on a bit there, trying to give an example of that. Yeah. People are only, if you're below them, they won't touch you though. If you're doing nothing in your life, let's say, people like that won't attack you because you're below them anyway, and they'll be comfortable with that. Don't dim your light though, man. You're going to get that. You're going to get people pecking. There was a saying, I'm going to say it really badly now. It's a story about a crow and an eagle. And the crow is pecking the eagle. Peck, 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 peck. The eagle does nothing. But the eagle keeps going higher And again, the crow keeps pecking. Again, the eagle doesn't even respond, but the crow's pecking all the way. But eventually, the eagle goes so high, because it can do, the crow can't breathe anymore. The crow can't breathe anymore, and the crow just falls away and drops off, saying that you just keep soaring high. You just keep being successful, and all these people that are pecking at you, they'll drop off. They can't keep up with you. And this was said in a better way than this is a quote I saw recently, a little video I saw recently. I like to imagine that, though. It's like these people are pecking at you, trying to put you down. Rohan saying it's probably an Australia-only term, Sander. Oh, I like the saying, though. I don't know much. I like the terminology of it. It sounds interesting. Rohan saying, rather than try to emulate fortune, they would destroy it. Exactly. Yep. It's trying to, instead of trying to just emulate it to maybe learn from it, become inspired from it, they destroy it instead. I think that's crazy in my opinion, but that's what a lot of people will do because they haven't worked on themselves. So that's what Rohan saying. That's what I mean, Sander. And then Sander said, "Interesting, Rohan." I agree. Interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing, by the way. Appreciate it. Referring to my notes, a moment. So, habits that are going to build a more resilience, mental resilience. It's long-term thinking. You can't always get everything short-term. It's long-term thinking. It's the soft world that we live in often lives on instant results, doesn't it? Instant gratification, instant wins, zero effort, but get the wins anyway. The value of those wins aren't that great, though, are they? Like if you get something, if you win something and you don't really put any effort and energy into it, it's a cheap win in a way, I suppose. Resilient people play the long game. Resilient people play the long game. Yeah, exactly. Does this matter in 5 years? Asking, does this matter in 5 years? So this pissing you off. Like I had an interaction with a narcissistic person yesterday, a toxic co-worker to an extent. I dealt with them though. I also had a stressful day yesterday. I had to scrub for a tough case yesterday, but I won't go on about that right now. What was my point? But I'm playing the long game. Will that matter in 5 years? No, it won't. It won't. It's just a tough day. And move on. Tomorrow's another day, as they say. So what's one thing? Let me just say, what's one thing that you strengthen? One moment, guys. One moment. Sorry. I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. What's one thing that you do to strengthen your mindset every day? I'll just keep this question short. It's just to keep... I'm just putting these on to let people refer to the content that I'm talking about. So how do you strengthen your mind? One moment, guys. How do you strengthen your mind? Sets, let's call it. I'll keep it short and sweet there. There we go. Rohan then says, I'm going back to the comments, guys. So that might be a major reason people are suddenly stealing so much in Western Australia. What people are robbing off each other, basically. I suppose, good point, Rohan. I think that happens here as well in England, of course. People look at others and they're doing well. It could be a doctor or something and they've got like a nice life, let's say. They live in a nice house in a nice area. They have a nice car, etc., etc. And of a lot of the time, people who don't have much, who haven't worked hard at all, they try and steal from them, steal from the house, of course, try and steal the car, etc., etc. Comparison is a thief of joy, isn't it, to an extent with regards to that. Sanna's saying, Rohan, it makes sense. Please, if I misinterpret any, if I don't get the point of what you're saying, please feel free to, what's it called? Correct me, because sometimes I get things wrong, by the way. I'm sorry if I misinterpret anything anyone says. I only have the written word here, and I'm doing this in real time. So forgive me if I don't get everything perfectly. But do feel free to correct me. It's all good if I misinterpret anything. Anyway, so let's keep going. Rohan says, my mother was also narcissistic. Oh, not easy, Rohan. Bloody hell. That can't have been easy at all. Sorry to hear that. It sounds like you've got a lot of, I suppose it's, the good thing is, I suppose it didn't feel good at the time, of course. I don't know the full story of that, Rohan, but by the sounds of it, by the way that you're typing, the words that you're sharing with us, the sentences, the paragraphs that you're sharing with us, it sounds like you've learned a lot from that. It's giving you that wisdom, that strength. I suppose that's the gift that you can get from the adversity that you face with, as terrible as it can be. When you're going through the fucking thick of it at the time, especially if you're young though, it won't feel like that, will it? It just feels horrible. Anyway, Sandra then saying, Brad, is kindness a sign of resilience in your opinion? Wow, what a good question. Give me a minute, please. I'm going to try and answer that. I think it is, Sandra. That's a really good question. Is kindness a sign of resilience? Yeah, because it's easy to be, right? If you're suffering yourself, we all suffer. Kindness is a strength, but people mistake it for weakness. It's so much easier. I've got a really sharp tongue, believe it or not, and I can be brutal. I can be fucking brutal. I choose not to be though, because I don't like being like that. I don't upset anyone. I don't want to fucking hurt anybody. I really don't. But I could. I fucking could. And a lot of everyone else can as well, don't get me wrong. And I choose to be kind. I choose to be kind. And I think it's a strength. And yes, I agree. It's a sign of resilience, isn't it? It's a sign of resilience. I'm being kind even though I'm suffering myself. I'm being kind even though I feel like destroying someone verbally or physically or whatever it is. I feel like saying so many things, but I don't choose to. I choose not to. I don't want to lose my kindness. I don't want to lose my humanity is what I'm trying to think of. Therefore, kindness is resilience, especially in the face of fucking adversity, especially when you've suffered yourself. It's like you've been bullied as a kid, for example, and then some people become the bully. That's a cowardly way of dealing with that. That's potentially the easier way of dealing with that. They become the bully, and then they make other people suffer. Or there's another example is that, you know what, I've had a fucking shit time. I've been bullied. I've had a bad narcissistic mum or dad or whatever it is, but I've chose to be fucking kind. I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to be better than them. I don't want to be like that. I want to be better than that. That's kindness, isn't it? That's kindness through adversity. Yes, absolutely. I think it's a massive sign of resilience. Absolutely. The fucking problem, it's not a problem. Let's say it's a problem. It's kind of a problem, is it? The challenge, let's say, is people take kindness for a fucking weakness a lot of the time. And you have to stand up for yourself. You have to put boundaries in place. I believe in life. And then I used to think when I was young and naive, I think, oh, if I'm kind, people will be kind back to me. Oh, life will be great. And it just doesn't fucking work like that, unfortunately. I wish it did. It does with some people. Some people reciprocate it, don't they? If you're nice to if someone's nice to me, I'll be fucking, I'll all day. I'll be good with you. If someone shows me appreciation, I'll do as much as I can for you. But sorry, I'm going on a little bit. But a lot of people take kindness for a weakness, so you have to put boundaries in place. Sander's then saying, Rohan, my mother is narcissistic. Wow, sorry, Sander. Sander's then saying, Bradley, I strengthen my mind daily by doing the things that fill my soul with goodness as much and as often as I can. Can you give examples of that, Sander? That's a good, thanks for sharing that. I strengthen my mind daily by doing the things that fill my soul. That sounds amazing, by the way. Can you give a small example of that? That'd be great. No pressure, by the way. You don't have to. Just request, let's say, but no pressure. I'll have a sip of water at one moment. Rohan saying, I've not felt freer since I left my former home for the street life. I'm under no pressure to go back to the same place to eat and sleep each night. Wow. Yeah, because if you're under someone's roof, it's like, this is my house, this is my fucking rules. I'm giving an example, Rohan. This is my house, my rules. You're fucking living in it. So you do what I say and what I do. I can do whatever I want to you because you're under my fucking house and I paid for this house. And then therefore, in that instance, let's say the child, for example, is under the rules, under the regulations, under the tyranny, for example. Then it's not nice, is it? It's good to have that freedom, Rohan. I'm glad you've got that freedom now. Yeah, and sometimes you've got to move out of that environment. You can't really heal. I don't think you can. It'd be very, very, very much more difficult to heal in such a toxic environment, wouldn't it? You need your own place, your own space, or whatever it is, away from that house, for example, where the narcissistic behavior is going on. To feel free, you need to be, ideally become financially independent, don't you? I bet that's not easy. Beyond words, Rohan, that sounds very difficult. That's what I've got to say. Unimaginably difficult sometimes. Rohan said it's most likely they think that vulnerability is weakness. Rohan saying, I decided I would rather be a homeless human being than a sheltered meat puppet. Wow. You'd rather be a homeless human being than being a puppet on a string. Fuck. Not easy, Rohan, at all. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to interpret that. It's most likely that they think the vulnerability is a weakness. They see it as a vulnerability, kindness, like you're soft, or they're always nice all the time. They might think that I'm trying to understand that the best I can. I suppose they think that you've got to be harsh, you've got to be nasty, you've got to be this, that, the other, and if you're not, then you're weak. So therefore, they try to eat you in a way, to an extent, not literally eat you, but to control you, to manipulate you, etc. How's life for you now, Rohan, if you don't mind me asking? So you feel freer at the moment. How's life for you at the moment? Are you working towards anything? Again, no pressure, by the way, with regards to sharing. So Sandy then says, Brad, cooking and baking is my therapy. So yeah, so that's like a passion, isn't it? A hobby or whatever you want to call it. And gratitude, fucking big one, gratitude, man. Big fucking one, gratitude. I believe that gratitude is so simple. It's really simple, isn't it? Just be grateful, for God's sake. But it's often something that we forget. And I've got to keep reminding myself about what I'm grateful for. Yoga, I've done yoga in the past, Sander. It's really difficult. I need to do more of it. I think everyone needs to do it in an ideal world, but yoga can be very beneficial. Yes, it's difficult. I'm very stiff, but yoga can be very beneficial. Walking, so underrated. I think that's the best, probably if you're going to choose one exercise, I think that's right up there with one of the best. Walking, absolutely. Mentally, physically, isn't it? Getting out in nature. Journaling, writing down your thoughts and feelings. It doesn't have to be writing. This could be me journaling. To an extent, I'm doing a live vlog. This is kind of what I talk about. I'm journaling myself here as well sometimes. Yeah, I absolutely am. I'm doing it via this medium, let's say. Meditating, slowing down the mind, meditating, breathing, absolutely. Just loving everything I created with all my might and creating a peaceful sanctuary in my own home, creating your own space that's yours, that you control, that no one, somebody can reset, recharge, having that sanctuary. It's should be grateful for those things. Thanks for sharing that, Sander. A lot of good examples there, great examples. Rohan says, is that why the shorter men are so aggressive? Sometimes they are, not all, but some are angry little bastards. Yes, to compensate, isn't it? Napoleon complex, as they say. Yeah, what you've just said, Napoleon complex. Much sometimes, or what else do they do? It's like that small dick energy. Oh, I'm going to get a massive car. I'm going to get a really big car, a big muscle car, like, and it's extension of the body then, isn't it? The ego sees this, it sees itself in the car as well. Not everybody does this, but some do. There's nothing wrong with nice cars, don't get me wrong. They're nice, of course they are. But sometimes it could be coming from a place of like Napoleon complex, like small dick energy. I need a big car to show how big I am and tough I am to compensate for the lack of stature. Rohan saying, I'm working towards my university degree and a job. Oh, cool. Sorry if you've already shared that, Rohan. I've forgotten. Sorry. You think you have? Forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't remember everything. That's great. What you're going to be doing in university is the question. That's great. Also, in my opinion as well, with regards to success, on that note, everyone's version of success is different, isn't it? Everyone's version of you don't. If you want to go to university, that's brilliant. Go for it. You don't have to go to university though. You could just moving away from a narcissistic home is a massive fucking success, isn't it? That's not easy. Not easy at all, especially if you're financially dependent on others or whatever it is, especially when you're younger, that's going to occur, isn't it? Naturally going to occur. To break free of that, become independent, massive success. Or just, you know what, just being a healthy, decent person, just being a good person is a fucking huge success. It's a huge win. It's a huge win. I work with some surgeons, and some of them, most of them are nice, most of them are good people, most of them do great work, but some of them are fucking horrible. They really are. And I think you've failed as a human. You might be a consultant surgeon. You might be on £250,000 per year. You might be super rich. You might even be really good at what you do, but you're a piece of shit. You're not a nice person. This give an example. I think that's a failure, because you're not even a good person. So if you become a good person, a nice, kind person, a wise person, that is a big sign of success as well. Sorry, I'm ranting on there. But sorry, go back to Rohan. Good for you with the university degree and job. Go for it. I believe that you'll achieve that. Anyway, sorry. Sanders said, love is my fuel, Brad. When I love something, someone I love it deeply, that makes me feel alive. My love language, amongst other things, is just being there for someone I care about. That's beautiful, Sander. Absolutely beautiful. That's going to help. Yes, massively. That's going to strengthen your mindset. Therefore, that's like purpose, isn't it? This is my purpose. My purpose. Having purpose is going to help with resilience as well. Rohan saying, isn't the Hunchback lab assistant Fricks not Igor? Yeah? Yeah. Igor. Is it Igor? I think it's Igor. Was it Igor, Rohan? I think it's Igor, but I could be wrong. Not that I'm an expert on that. What's that from, Igor? It's, oh, God, I forgot, man. It's off a book or something. I forgot. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. What was I saying anyway? So purpose and routine. Routine equals mental armor, doesn't it? Routine, if it's a good routine. It's like every morning I have a cold shower. I do my Wim Hof breathing. It sets me up energetically. I'm charged. I'm good to go. It's having those routines, yes. Good routines. It's structure. That's going to help you with resilience. It's going to help you deal with things, isn't it? It's like your mental armor. I look at, someone once said to me something. They said when they go to the gym, they've obviously got muscles. They've got more muscles. They're stronger. Said the muscles are like the physical armor, and muscles can be physical armor as well. Anyway, Frankenstein. Thank you. Yes, Miss Shelley's original story. Yeah, thanks, Rohan. I forgot. I knew it was a book written a long time ago, but I've forgotten. That was a Frankenstein film I referred to. But Mrs. Shelley's original story had Frankenstein work alone, and he was not even a doctor. I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that. Mary Shelley's, yeah, book, yeah. That's a good story, that. It's a good story. It's probably, like you just said, it's probably been changed from the original script, though. I don't know when that was written. Is it the 1800s, probably 1900s? I can't remember, sorry. A long time ago, though, that was written. Sometimes the old books are the best, though. Anyway, let's carry on. Purpose gives meaning to pain. Why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I doing it? If there's no fucking purpose, like, oh yeah, I'm just suffering. I'm doing this really hard thing, but there's no fucking point. You're not going to really get there. You're not going to continue with it. But you need purpose, man. You need fucking purpose. That's what helps me with this. Purpose. I don't get paid for this, by the way. I don't get paid for it. This is not always me. I've actually put money into doing this. It cost me my time, cost me my money. I pay for certain apps and things to help me create thumbnails, etc., whatever. I have a ring light that's cost me money, blah, blah, blah. This is not always me. It's just the way it is. I've chose to do this. But I believe that I'm meant to help people. I'm meant to help people, and I'm meant to help people to grow through collective consciousness type of thing, coming away from the 3D up into the 5D type of, grow through enlightenment, coming away from that toxic, growing spiritually, mentally, physically. That's what I'm about. And I believe that if this feels good doing it, it feels right. That's my purpose. This is good. Like, even if I never get paid for this, it's all good. It's all good. That gives me the purpose. It's good to have purpose, basically. I think you need it. You can choose your own purpose, though, of course. That gives meaning to the suffering, to the pain. Why am I doing this? Why am I going to university? Because I want a degree. And why do I want a degree? Because I want to have a good job. Doesn't always guarantee that, of course, with universities, but often it does if you choose the right thing. Anyway, I'm gonna have a little rest. One more, a sip of water. So how does society weaken the mind? How can society weaken the mind, let's say? Let me just type that in. There we go. How can society weak? I've said that wrong. I'm just going to get rid of that. Sorry, guys. One moment. I'm just typing something in here to share. How can society weaken the mind? That's my next point. There we go. Let's just share that. Right, let's keep going. So like I've said before, overprotection, man. How can society weaken the mind? Overprotection. People avoid accountability or criticism. A lot of people, they act like arseholes. They do stupid shit, but it's never their fault. Not my fault. Sloppy shoulders. Sloppy shoulders. I'll blame somebody else. I've been an arsehole. I've been called out for being an arsehole, and I don't want to deal with that. So therefore, their reaction, they're overreacting. They can't take a joke. They're being too sensitive. Even though it's me, for example, even though it's me being the fucking arsehole, I'm insulting people. I'm making snidey comments. I'm being a fucking arsehole, for example. I'm not a nice person. I put other people down to make myself feel better. I'm giving examples. And then I get called out on it because I'm being a fucking prick, for instance. I'm being a prick, right? Just giving an example, of course. And then I get called out on it. But I blame others. That's what these people do. They blame others. It's not my fault. You're overreacting. Why so sensitive? Can you not take a joke? What's wrong with you? That kind of shit. Gaslighting bullshit. That's what people do. Not all people, but some people. Zero accountability. Zero. Never their fault. If you come across people like that, if you can, fucking avoid them. Stay away from them. They're no good. You don't want them in your life. My opinion. That's it. Red flag. Big red flag. That's just like no good. As you get older and wiser, I believe that I can spot these people very, very quickly. Really quickly. And once you can do that, that's a really good tool to deal with these people. Another one is how society can weaken the mind as well is what is it? Sorry, let me think. Criticism. Criticism can feel very painful sometimes. Criticism, sometimes, let's say, constructive criticism can be good, but it feels bad sometimes. And if it's a genuine, valid point, if someone says something bad to you, someone criticizes you, it can feel painful. I've felt it myself. The ego's hurt. It hurts sometimes. But it's good to analyze that criticism sometimes. Think, is this a valid point? Because sometimes it's not a valid point, but sometimes it could be, and there's a lesson in there. And sometimes there's a lesson in the pain as well. It's like, oh shit, maybe I could do something differently. Maybe I could do something better. That's the beauty of criticism. But does it always feel good? No. Sometimes the truth fucking hurts as well. It really does. How do I know? Because I've experienced it. I'll experience it again in the future at some point, I'm sure. Anyway, let me just go back to the comments. Sanders then saying, through serving controlled information via various media outlets and creating narrative trends and forming collective opinions. Wow, very profound that, Sander. Let's break it down. I'll attempt to break it down. So how does society weaken the mind? It's through serving controlled information via various media. Yeah, it's giving you selective information that can consciously or unconsciously influence your thought patterns, your thinking. Creating narratives, false narratives. Obviously, the biggest fucking one. How do you control people? Fear. Through fear, isn't it? Through fucking fear a lot of the time. It's always this bad thing happening. There's all bad most of the news, it's fucking bad news, isn't it? Bad news sells, I suppose. Trends as well. What we're fighting for now, it could be free Palestine, it could be free Ukraine, it could be LGBTQ plus, it could be there's trends, isn't there? There's trends. And some people, I'm not saying that everyone that follows these trends is wrong or anything. Sometimes they could be right in some ways. I'm not saying that, but a lot of the time, some people just jump on whatever's trending mindlessly, not even thinking about the deeper things. They just jump on it. They just champion whatever's going on. I think that's a sign of low intelligence sometimes. Obviously, I don't want to get too political on here. I'm not going to do that, but that's what can happen. And forming collective opinions, yes, forming collective opinions based on those trends. It's just mind-numbing. This is the news story comes out today. They say XYZ. Okay, XYZ's true. I'm not even going to think about why XYZ's true. It's just fucking true because the TV said so. And then they repeat those things and they talk about those things that XYZ said. They don't have any critical thinking. They don't look at the bigger picture. They don't do their own research. That's what can lend to this. That's how society can weaken the mind. No creativity, no free thought, no open-mindedness, just a closed-mindedness. Not good, in my opinion. It's good to look at the facts and the other things, looking deeper into things. That requires energy. That requires time, doesn't it? That requires effort. A lot of people won't do this. And it's also having an ego. Do you know, sometimes if someone talks about something, I'll go, do you know what? That's interesting, but I don't know everything about it. And I'll be open and honest. I'll go, I don't know everything about that. So I'm giving a very limited opinion then. It's having that's a sign of intelligence as well. It's being open-minded enough and having a healthy enough ego to realize that you don't know everything about something. Anyway, Rohan saying social engineering, that's how. Yeah. Fucking hell, yes. That's interesting, Rohan. Very true. Shit, yes, I agree, Rohan. Yeah. Christopher Ashurst. Hi, Christopher. How are you? My name's Brad, by the way. I hope you're okay. I used to get my head flushed at school every day. Oh, I'm sorry, Christopher. That sounds horrible, man. That sounds fucking horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Sanders then saying, oh no, Christopher, I'm really sorry to hear that, as am I, as I've just said. How did you deal with that? How did you overcome that? That must have been horrendous. Christopher's saying I did it myself. I loved it. Right. I'm going to go with the funny side of that, Christopher. So you was dunking your head in the toilet. Sanders saying, Christopher, you loved getting your head inside the toilet bowl. Okay. That's how psychiatry works too. I'm looking at the funny side of it. I think Chris is just being a troll. Yeah, it's kind of that type of warming us up a little bit, Christopher, are you? I hope that you're okay anyway. I'm going to send some love and respect to you anyway. I'm going to send a bit of that to you anyway, either way. Okay. I'm going to move on. We live in a victim culture. People will struggle as an identity instead of overcoming it. They champion, that victim mentality. Woe is me, poor fucking me. It's okay to complain sometimes. It's okay to go, do you know what? That was fucking shit. I don't feel good about that. But don't be staying there all the time. People just, they have a constant victim mentality. The world's against them. The world owes them everything. Life's not fair, I know. It fucking's not fair, man. We don't always get it's just not fair. That's the way it is. It sounds shit, but there you go. But some people they just stay in victim mentality all the time. Nothing's ever their fault. It's everyone else's fault. It's this person's fault. It's that person's fault. It's that situation's fault. Something bad might have happened to them in the past, which is shit, don't get me wrong, but they don't let it go. And they just use that as the badge of honor in a way. And I don't think that's a good way of dealing with things. I think you've got to create your own future the best you can, carve it out the best you can. Being in that victim mentality all the time is no good. Christopher's saying she's just having a laugh. Okay, cool, Christopher. Yeah, cool. It's all good. I like it. That's great. Just having a laugh. Thank you for communicating that, to explain that. That's fine. We've only got the written word here, so thank you. Sanders is saying, LOL, Christopher, we were emphasizing with you. Yeah, we felt sorry for you there, mate. Felt sorry for you there for a moment, let's say. One moment. I'm trying to think. Victim culture. Yeah, limp-wristed liberals type of thing. Just, yeah, there's a lot of that sometimes. Everyone's got to pander to my wants and whims, even though, and I'm a victim. Everyone's got to feel sorry for me. Everyone's got to cater to me and pander to me. Anyone that doesn't do anything I like, I'm going to play victim and accuse them of things. That kind of thing can go on as well. It's like I'm offended by everything. You choose or choose not to be offended by something. If something offends you, then stay away from it, of course. But I think there's a lot of that, too much of that sometimes. With some situations, let's say. Ron saying, I troll people who accept psychiatry uncritically, knowing that's not a science. Okay, cool. And then Christopher saying, seriously, I used to get bullied in school and always dealt with humour. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you laugh through it. That's a sign of resilience as well, I suppose. It's a dealing with a shit situation, and then what people can do is become the class clown or whatever, and try and make people joke, try and make people laugh to prevent them being bullied. Sometimes that's what some people can do. That's what I gauge from that. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Sorry, guys. Moving on. So social media. Constant comparison lowers tolerance for imperfection. Sorry, guys. I'm losing my train of thought at the moment. I'm having a little rest, man. Recollecting my thoughts now. I'm just saying things out loud, of course. I'm trying to recenter myself a moment to get back on track. Social media, constant comparison. I'm trying to understand that. Lowers tolerance for imperfection. I suppose I keep saying that, don't I? Comparison is a thief of joy, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to move on. The algorithm rewards outrage, not discipline. It's always the ones that are outraged that get heard the most, I suppose. Discipline and resilience isn't always rewarded, is it? It's not the sexy thing, is it? It's not attractive. It's hard. It's doing the hard work when no one's watching. It's waking up in the morning, getting that shitty work done that you don't want to do. Anyway, I'm going to move on, guys. So, quote, we've replaced resilience with reaction. People don't don't pause to think anymore. So we've replaced resilience with reaction. People don't pause to think. They don't pause to think. They choose not to process anything. They just choose to just next thing. Santa's then saying, Brad, they make us believe we have to look and be perfect to be worthy, loved, liked, etc., etc. Thanks, Sander, for sharing that. Yeah, we have to look perfect. A lot of the time as well, it's a lot of people have filters, don't they, etc. They have filters. They have nice pictures in the sun. They're on holiday. They capture a moment. They've got a nice glass of wine. They might have a nice car in the background. And that's a flash moment of paradise, let's say, but that's not the reality of a lot of people's lives. It's just it's a facade sometimes. I'm not saying that everyone that shares holiday pictures is doing that intentionally. Sometimes it's showing holiday pictures, but sometimes we can think that this person's got this brilliant, perfect life when it's not. It's not. They don't show the struggle, do they? They don't show the bad days when they're turning up for work or whatever, and it's a bit shit. They don't show that. They show the good stuff. And you shouldn't compare yourself to those things. You shouldn't. Santa's saying, that's great, Christopher. Healthy way of dealing with your emotions. Through laughter, through joke. It's a sign of strength, really. If you can, I think, don't take yourself so seriously all the time. It's good to laugh at I laugh at my own expense sometimes. I make mistakes, and it's good to laugh. I think it's a sign of a healthy, strong person. Is laughing. That's a really good point, actually. Thank you, Christopher. Thanks, Sandra, for reminding me that as well. I think laughter you can laugh yourself. You can laugh through your suffering sometimes. Laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself so seriously. I think that can be a healthier outlet of dealing with the stress of the shit. I agree. Anyway, I'm going to move on. The resilient mindset is next. I'll pose this as a question. The resilient mindset. What's that saying as well? I've read a book called The Hard Road Will Take You Home. I like the saying. The hard road will take you home. Absolutely. Doing what's hard will get you there. It's a long struggle. Anyway, the resilient mindset. Anyway, I'll go to the comments quickly, sorry. Christopher's saying, I feel the everyday world and the everyday people have the best of life experiences and online are just fake and not genuine. Good comment, Christopher. Let's just read that again. Thanks for sharing. I feel the everyday world and the everyday people have the best of life experiences. Like the average person, yes. And online people are just fake and not genuine. A lot of the time, Christopher, yeah. A lot of the fucking time. And then these people let me go deeper into that a little bit. They're seeking validation via that outlet, let's say Facebook. Via Facebook, they're showing this perfect life online. It's fake. It's not the full picture. It's not real. It's not genuine, as you've just said, Christopher. And then they get some likes on there, don't they? So that's you getting the validation, you're getting the praise for that. But you're getting praise for what's not real in a way. That kind of thinking. That's what I'm gauging from what you've just said as well. And that can keep you doing more of that. It's a dopamine hit, isn't it? It's like, oh, that makes me feel good. I'm getting likes. I'm getting these little pings, ping, 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 like, over this false sense of self, and then therefore that can encourage people to do more of that same thing. But it's not genuine. It's not real. It's a false reality. You're lying to yourself then, aren't you, really, Christopher? In that would be for an example what you just said. Therefore, you lie. Why have you lied? You lie. You're living a fucking lie, man. I'm not saying you're living a lie. I'm saying that the example of those kind of people would be living a fucking lie. And that's not good. It's not a good life, man. Short term, you're getting the like. Short term, you're getting the validation. They're cheap wins, though. They're not real wins. They're fucking cheap, based on lies. So Short term, you might feel a bit better. Long term, no, I don't think so. Long term, it's not. It's not good. Doing the real work is the long game. Interesting points, though. Thank you. Anyway, Sanders saying, Christopher, everyday world is filled with inauthentic, fake people running away from themselves. I do get where you're coming from. However, I can't agree fully. The online can be fake and only show the good side of their lives, etc. Definitely, but people in real life can be just as fake too. You're adding more to that, Sandy, yes. I'm not saying that everyone online's fake either. I don't think so. Some people are just genuine. They're just showing the pictures with the family and they're not coming from an egotistical place. They're just sharing them. Some people don't. That's what they do, in my opinion. Not everyone online is going to be fake. A lot are, though, don't get me wrong. You're adding a bit more onto that. I think people sorry, Sander, you're saying that, yeah, not everyone out there is going to be real either. In the real world, no, they're not. A lot of inauthentic people, a lot of fake people out there. Going deeper into that, I like to critique things as well and think of things differently. I like other people's opinions. I think it's good. It's collective consciousness. It's not just my opinion. It's not just Sanders' opinion. It's not just Christopher's opinion. It's lots of different perspectives, which is great. What we're going to say then? Sorry. Sometimes I'm at work. I work with people that I'm not keen on, but I've got to get through the day, right? I've got to achieve objectives at work, right? I've got to get the job fucking done. I am with 3 people. 2 of them are nice. 1 of them's a fucking bell end, right? Sometimes that's how it goes. I've got to be civil in that situation. Could you say I'm being fake? You could say I'm being fucking fake. However, I think to myself is I've got a job to do. I've got these people with me. 2 of them are nice. 1 of them's a fucking bell end. I don't like them, but that's what I've got. How can I get the best out of this situation? I think that's. Could you say I'm being fake in that situation? Because I've got to be civil. You could. I can't tell them what I think in that situation because I'll get into trouble. So therefore, I don't see that as fully fake in that situation. I'm just trying to think deeper into it in certain scenarios because I think there's objectives. We need to achieve the goal. Let's get I've got this team. Let's make the best of this team. However, there is back to Sanders' point. I think there is a lot of inauthentic people out there that are super, super fake. They'll be sugary sweet to your face, slagging you off behind your back. That's different. That happens a lot as well. A lot of people, compos mentis, isn't it? Compos mentis, meaning to know thyself, to know yourself. A lot of people don't know themselves, which can lead them to being fake as well. They're not open-minded. They don't look at themselves. That's what happens when you, if you're closed-minded, nothing's ever your fault. You're inauthentic, living a fake life. That's the price you're going to be paying. If you're lying to yourself, some people lie to themselves. They're never in the wrong. That's a sign of a fake person, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going on a bit. I think there's a lot of good people out there as well, though. Don't get me wrong. Anyway, Sanders then saying the good side of their lives, etc. Definitely, but people in real life can be Sandy. Yes. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. Sip of water. One moment. Don't expect fairness, guys. You know this. Don't expect fairness. Train for chaos, man. Don't expect it to be fair. You didn't have a rich mummy and daddy. A lot of people don't. My name's Brad. Do I look like Brad Pitt? No. Did I get a nice head of hair? I went bald at fucking 20, man. I went bald really young. Is that fair? No, it's not fucking fair in the hair world, let's say. Am I the most intelligent person? No. Have I got the best physique in the world? It's decent, but it's not perfect. Is it life fair? No, it's fucking not. It's tough shit. It's fucking not. And it's just, I wish it was, but don't expect it. Don't expect it. And train for chaos. Train for chaos. That's where your resilience is needed. That's where the strength is needed. Anyway, Sandy saying, Brad, keeping professional in a work setting is different to being inauthentic. Yeah, it is, Sander. Yes, thank you. It is different. Yeah, you've got a job to do. You've got responsibilities. being inauthentic, yeah, it's different. An example of what Sanders just saying is it's like you're being sugary sweet to someone. Hi, how you doing? You're my bestie, you're my family, and then you're slagging them off behind the back is being inauthentic. That's a basic way of saying the differences there. I agree with you, Sander. Thanks for sharing, by the way. So anyway, moving on. Keeping calm in presence when others panic. When everyone's flapping around, when everyone's shitting themselves, you're keeping calm, you're keeping still, you're taking a step back mentally, you're looking at the situation, situational awareness, basically looking around the room, everyone's flapping. That's resilient mindset. You're calm. You're seeing things for what they are. Then you're thinking strategically, what do I need? What can I do next? How can I make this better? How can I solve this problem? For instance, I'll move on. Finding lessons in every setback. Yep. When things get hard, that's where the lessons are, isn't it? There's going to be setbacks. Things aren't going to work out perfectly. The car is going to break down. Your body's going to break down. You're going to have the best intentions in the world, and you can have the best intentions in the world, and the things aren't going to play out exactly as you want them to. You think, Joe, I put loads of effort into that. I planned the best I could, and it's still gone to shit. But then that's where the lessons are. You're like, if I did, hindsight's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Hindsight. But sometimes you need to just go through something. You turn up, it doesn't work out. You think that worked, but those three other things, they didn't work. Those three things I just did then, they didn't fucking work. They failed. But those are the lessons. Okay, then I'm going to learn from that. That's a gift, isn't it? Anyway, so that's my point on that. I've got a quote. I'm going to share a quote now, referring to my notes, of course, to help me through this live content, of course. So strong men aren't born. They're not born. They are built. Strong, let's go with people. Sorry, I'm not going to go with men here. I'm going to go with fucking people. Strong people aren't born. They are built. When comfort ends and challenges begin. So what's that saying? Easy times create soft people, and difficult, hard times create strong people, is what I'm trying to say. If you're in the modern world that we live in, and things can be quite comfortable a lot of the time, you've got to find those roads yourself. Reconnecting. Campbell Legend, shout out, please. Shout out to Campbell Legend. Hi, how are you, Campbell Legend? My name's Brad, by the way. This is the Inspirational Ambivert channel. This is my live vlog. So shout out to Campbell Legend. There you go, sir. John, hi John. From Boston, Massachusetts, is it here? Sorry if I've said it wrong, John. Without the right stress in life, we get soft, and soft is bad over the long term. Absolutely, it is fucking right, John. It is bad over the long term. And I look at society in England. I think English society in England, and maybe America as well, John. You know more about America than I do. You live there, of course. Let's say Western society, let's say England. I think a lot of people here have got really fucking soft. A lot of them don't have to work. They get benefits. They get a free house. They don't have to pay for the food. They don't have a lot of money, don't get me wrong, but they can live by doing very little. And I think that can create a soft, weak society. And the devil makes work for idle hands sometimes, not always. So people get into drugs and have too many good times, taking drugs, drinking, and then it just makes them soft. It makes you weak, and it's going to make you suffer long term, because you're going to have health implications, mental health implications, consequences, and physical consequences, of course. Campbell Legend says thank you. No worries, Campbell Legend. It's all good. It's all good. Thanks for joining us, by the way. I hope you're okay. I can see by saying you're a Liverpool fan. They're doing very well, aren't they, Liverpool? In the Premier League, in the football, very good team. Anyway, I'll move on. Rohan saying benefits are a terrible thing to rely on. Yes, I think benefits can be good. I think some people genuinely need them. Some people that are born with physical deformities or whatever it is, and they need benefits to live. I think that's a sign of a good society, to look after those that need it, of course. And also, there's also other times when You could be working for a while, Rohan, and then you don't have a job. You don't have a job. So you need some benefits. And I think that's a good thing as well for some people to fall upon, but relying on them and just, that's it. You get it with families as well. It's like the grandparents were on benefits. The parents were on benefits. The kids end up on benefits. It's generational behaviors that just rely on benefits, and that's all they do. I think there's a bad price to pay for that as well. I see as well when I work, it's like I think of like a work fitness. I have the fitness to be able to work, like stronger legs. You're moving around, you're doing stuff. I'm not saying work's always good. It can break you sometimes, too much work, but a bit of work gives you a bit of stress, keeps you strong. John saying hard times create strong men. Absolutely, John. Strong men create good times. Yes, that's a saying, John. Thanks, John. I was saying that very vaguely before. You've just said it better than I have. I'm going to read it out. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Yeah, because they've built it. They've created it through that fucking through their hardship, through their graft, through their suffering, through their hard work, through the turmoil. They've made something really good. And then the good times create weak men. Easy times. Let's all eat, let's drink, let's just chill, let's go on holidays, let's not create anything, let's not build anything, let's not produce anything, let's not fix anything. It's all good. Therefore, what have you got at the end of it? Weak as fuck men, weak as fuck people. And then, yes, weak men then create hard times because they're not maintain. You've got to maintain things, haven't you? If you don't, let's say if you've got a house and you don't clean it, it's going to end up dusty. It's going to end up a shithole, isn't it? It's going to stink. It's going to smell. It's going to rot. Same with your body. If you don't maintain it, if you're lazy, it's going to rot quicker than... Obviously, time gets us all, don't get me wrong. Time gets us all. But you've got to maintain what you have. Your mindset, your intellect, your health, etc. But you've got to put fucking energy and time into it. Otherwise, it's going to go weak as fuck. Sorry. But thanks for that, John. I'm going on a bit there, but I agree, John, absolutely. That's the basic premise of what I'm been talking about today as well, John, so thank you. Tanya's saying, Rohan, benefits just breed weak people. A lot of the time they can do. Easier to control, yes. Give them the bare minimum to maintain the masses, isn't it? Keep them just about happy enough. Here's the benefits. Here's a few pounds to get basics. We just want to keep you controlled, control the populace. I think that's thanks for that's thinking outside the box a little bit there, Sander. That's great. I believe that I believe that the governments need people like that. They fully rely on their help and support. Yes, to be dependent upon the state, to be controlled by the state, isn't it? I suppose we all are to an extent. Am I a wage slave? Yes, I am. Do I like saying that? No. Do I fuck? But I am. I live paycheck to paycheck. So do many other people as well. I wish I didn't have to. And my aim is to become financially free. But that's my challenge. That's a long game though. Anyway, but a lot of us are reliant upon governments, yes, especially if you're on benefits as well. They've got you by they control everything then, don't they? You're reliant upon them. Anyway, let's carry on. Thanks for sharing that, Sander. Trips to 369. Hello, Trips to 369. Good of you to join us. My name's Brad, by the way. You are soft to many people. If you weren't, you wouldn't be on YouTube Live. You'd be doing something more worth your time. Hello, Trips to 369. My name's Brad. Let's break down what you've just said. I'm soft to many people. I won't be on. Why? Elaborate. Please elaborate. Let's see where you're coming from. Let's see if you can explain what you're saying. If you weren't, you wouldn't be on YouTube Live. I believe this is worth my time. I work full Trips to 369. I work as a nurse, a scrub nurse. I work Monday to Friday. I do about 45, 50 hours a week. I work in a fucking hospital. I help people. I'm part of a team that helps to fix people. Someone's broken the knee. Someone's broken the hip. I'm part of that team that had to help fix that person. I'm not a surgeon, but I'm a scrub nurse. I help the surgeon, I assist the surgeon, let's say, the best I can. So is this a waste of my time? Well, maybe your perception, trips to 369, maybe that's your perception, that's your opinion. I don't think it is. I think I'm talking about things that are, I like to think that I'm sharing. Not everyone's going to agree, of course. If you don't agree, that's fine. I don't expect you to agree. That's all good. I do believe that talk about self-improvement, and this helps me personally. I don't think this is a waste of my time. I think I will attract certain types of people that are open-minded, and through that collective consciousness, we'll talk about discussions and help bring awareness. And I believe that can help some people. It's not going to help everyone, though, of course. Maybe it's not going to help you, of course. Maybe this is not the channel for you, but that's just cool. Maybe find something that you're more interested in, trips to 369. But yeah, that's my point on that one. But I hope that you're okay through trips to 369. Sending some love and respect to you, of course. Give you the benefit of the doubt there, by the way, with what I'm saying. Anyway, Rohan. Oh, Brad, you're not a wage slave. You're a successful, independent man. Oh, thanks, Rohan. Thanks, man. That's very kind of you to say, but I work full time, of course, like many people do, and if I didn't have, I think I am to an extent. Sorry, Rohan, I'm going against myself. I know here. I am successful, thank you. I'm an independent person. Thank you, Rohan. It's very kind of you to say, by the way. Am I reliant upon that wage, though? Yes, I am. I believe. Thank you for thanks for the compliment, by the way, Rohan. That's very kind of you, by the way. Very nice. Anyway, Sanders saying tripster, ha 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 ha. I can't say it. Damn. What is making you say that? I've already broken it down, Sand. It's fine. You don't even know Bradley and how fucking hard he works and how strong of a motherfucker he is. No, thanks, Sander. It's all good. Not everyone's going to see things the same way either. They're just not. I know it's not good to see yourself as a slave either. And maybe I need to come away from that terminology. Maybe that's not good for, let's apply the law of attraction there. Me saying that's going against me, really, I suppose. I'm on about myself here. Maybe something that's maybe that's something I need to rephrase. I'm reflecting now, aren't I? I'm reflecting on what Rohan said. That's a good thing. We're not always perfect. It's not good to refer to myself as that, Rohan, is it? Actually, thanks, Rohan. Thanks for you've just helped me there. Thank you, Rohan. Thanks I'm going to rephrase that going forwards. I think I need to be better with that. I call myself a wage slave, and it's not a good thing to say about yourself, is it? No, it's not. Thanks. Santa says, I love that, Rohan. Thank you. Anyway, let's sip of water. So, next one is finding lessons in every setback. I think I've already talked about that. They're going to happen. I've talked about the other thing. So, moving on. You can't toughen the world. Just referring to my notes. You can't toughen the world, but you can harden the mind. Don't avoid pain. It's coming anyway. Use it. Don't chase comfort. It's okay. Don't get me wrong. A bit of comfort's okay. Good to have a day off. Good to do nothing sometimes. Sometimes we need to recharge. Sometimes we need to reflect. A little bit of comfort's good. Don't get me wrong, but not all the time. Build capacity, because when things fall apart, and I'm thinking maybe when things do fall apart, is life going to get harder going forwards? Is the world getting harder going forwards? I think it fucking is, guys. I think it's going to get tougher. I think it already is a little bit. And one of my points is get ready. Get ready. You need to be tough. You need to be strong. I suppose what it is natural selection, isn't it? Really, sometimes survival of the strongest. Survival of the strongest. Sometimes is life going to get harder? I think it is. I think it is. Because when things fall apart, the calm, resilient ones lead the way. So when the shit hits the fan, then you see who the real strong ones are. When things get fucking tough, you'll find out who's who. And it's often the quiet one in the corner who's observing. The quiet one. The kind one, sometimes. Anyway, So, Orbis 8. Hello, Orbis 8. My name's Brad. Hello. How did you become a gangster? I'm not a gangster, Orbis 8. No. I used to be a long time ago. Change the topic now. I'll just go to open chat for a while, by the way. That's the end of what I'm talking about. I'm going to change the topic a little bit. Open chat now, guys. Open chat. Community-led, let's say. We're going to open chat now. I've been on for 2 hours, haven't I? Right. So, how did I become a gangster? I'm not being a gangster, but I used to be around a lot. When I was in my 20s, around a lot of people that, a lot of drug taking, a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing. I was around a lot of that when I was younger, obviously. Not now. I'm 43 now. I've just turned 43, man. So that's that. Anyway, obviously, I'm a sheriff. You're dressed like a Sheriff Sander. It's all good. You actually are. You are the moderator on here, so thank you for what you're doing. It's really good. Appreciate your help, Sander. It really helps me a lot with regards to trolls, etc. I'm gonna be back in 2 minutes, guys. And then I'll be 1 minute. I need to go. 1 moment. Just 1 moment, guys. I won't be long. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Let's carry on. Okay, so let's get comfortable again. Sorry about that. Needed to go for a second then. So what have we talked about today? We talked about being resilient in a world that's trying to make us soft sometimes. You've got to be strong, etc. That's what I've talked about today, of course. Tomorrow, completely changing the topic tomorrow, I'm live at 10 o'clock in the morning, UK time. I'm going to be talking about emotional vampires. So emotional vampires, different types of people that are going to drain your energy. I'm going to talk about that. And I think it's a really interesting and important topic. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So if you want to join me then for that live, please feel free to join me if you want to. Thank you to anyone that's subscribed. Thank you for anyone that's commented or watched. I appreciate you all. Thank you. And that's that for tomorrow. So I'm going to just relax a moment and see if anyone wants to chat. And if they don't, I'm going to go. So anyone that's just joined me, I've been talking quite a bit, of course, beforehand. But this is just an open chat now. I'm going to see where the chat goes, and for the next 5 minutes. And if it doesn't go anywhere, then I'll call it a day, and that'll be it. Do you know what, guys? I think I'm going to call it a day. I think that's it now. Anyone got any? If anyone's got anything else to talk about, I will crack on. But it doesn't look like there's anyone talking anymore, which is fine. I have run out of things to say. I can only say so much about a certain topic, of course. Thank you for joining, by the way, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope that you're all okay. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Just keep being strong, keep being resilient, keep being open-minded, keep working on yourself. Achieve what you can in life, man. You only get one. We're only visiting this world. We're just visitors, of course. We're not here for a long time. Even if you get to 80, you're not here for a long time. But make the best of it. So anyway, thank you for your time. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. So remember, 10 o'clock in the morning, tomorrow, UK time. We're talking about emotional vampires, which is going to be a very interesting topic. So I hope that you can join me for tomorrow. So thank you for your time and goodbye.